A lot of people think that they need expensive and high-grade gear to achieve professional-looking results. I'm here to prove otherwise. This is a budget telephoto zoom lens that defies its price tag and it punches well above its weight. I brought this lens to shoot a mini concert. I'm going to share plenty of photographs and talk about how I achieve professional-looking results using just this budget lens. Let's do this! So why did I use this Olympus 40-150 F4-5.6 R for this particular shoot? Well, I was attending the mini concert as an audience. I paid for my own tickets. I wasn't hired as an official photographer. I wasn't shooting this as a job. I was an audience. I had a seated position. It was a fixed position. And I wanted to bring something minimal, something easy to use, something small and light. I don't want to carry my full gear. It wasn't really a job. I'm not delivering anything to a client. So this Olympus EM10 and the budget 40-150 R, this was the perfect setup for that situation. And I'm going to prove to you that although this is an entry-level camera, I'm using a budget telephoto lens, I can still achieve really good results. Let's take a look at some photographs first. I've talked about this Olympus 40-150 R lens before. I'm not going to repeat everything that I've said. If you want to find out more, you can easily do a quick search on this channel. You can find them easily. I love this lens because it is so small, so compact, and so light. It matches small camera bodies very, very well. And yes, it is a budget lens. It doesn't pretend to be otherwise. It feels cheap. It's made of plastic, but it does give you a very versatile zoom range from 40 all the way to 150, and at the longest telephoto end, that's about 300mm equivalent focal length in 35mm full frame format. That's really generous. You can do a lot with this zoom range. And the aperture opening is quite modest as well, from f4 to 5.6. I know this lens will not be the first pick if you want to shoot in low light situation, but considering some cameras have powerful image stabilization, you can rely on that to compensate on the darker aperture opening. And of course, you can easily boost the high ISO numbers. I'm not afraid to go high ISO. I'm not afraid of noise. And combining this on the EM10, that does have powerful 3-axis image stabilization, and it has a micro four thirds sensor. It does shoot high ISO really well. At least I'm happy with the results. And this is also to further prove a point that you don't need expensive and professional grade gear to achieve professional results. This EM10 is an entry-level budget camera. Together with this budget lens, I can get some really good images. Let's take a look at some more images from that mini concert. Looking at the images captured from this lens shooting that mini concert, I was very happy with the results. From 40mm all the way to 150mm at the telephoto end, this lens is capable of rendering very sharp images. All the images come out full of fine details, really good contrast. Honestly, when I'm showing these images to a lot of my friends, a lot of them don't even know that I was using a budget lens. Some of them thought that I was using a pro lens or the prime lens. Images look lifelike, the rendering is very realistic, everything looks very pleasing and natural, and that is something that I really treasure from any lenses that I use, especially from such a budget lens. Who would have known that it can give such beautiful images? And of course, if you want to compare with images taken from smartphones, for example, they will look over-processed, there's aggressive noise reduction, over-sharpening halo and artifacts, the colors are garish and over-baked. Results from the EM10 and this budget telephoto lens will still look more pleasing, more natural, more lifelike, more real, more photo-like. And this is what I want from this combination. Some technical notes on the challenges I faced while using this budget 40-150 R lens shooting that mini concert. Well, obviously, the artists performing on stage, they don't just stand still and not move, right? They'll jiggle around, they might do some dance moves, they'll shake their head. A lot of these movements, you do need fast enough shutter speed to freeze them, unless you want to intentionally induce blur in your or motion in your shot. That's a completely different story. I want perfectly sharp images, so I need shutter speeds around 1/250th to maybe even more than 1/300th of a second to adequately freeze this motion. And I find that, of course, having f4-5.6, not the brightest aperture on this lens, I do need to boost up my ISO numbers to achieve fast enough shutter speeds. But a lot of times I've said this before, and I'm going to repeat it again. Don't afraid of high ISO noise. It is not the end of the world. If you need to go high ISO, if you need to increase that number, go for it. The noise is there, but it won't destroy your images. And people don't pixel peep when they look at your photographs. It's more important to capture the moment rather than worrying about noise. You can have a noise-free image, but if your images come out a little bit blurry or you've missed the moment, I think those penalties are a lot more serious than high ISO noise. So I went up to ISO 1600 for most of my shots. I went up to 3200 ISO if I had to. I wouldn't hesitate to go up to ISO 6400. There were several occasions, and I don't really care. Noise is there, but it is not the end of the world. I totally understand and I will agree that if you want to deliver the best results for clients, you should be using top-notch gear that includes professional grade lens. I'm not denying that. But this mini concert, that was not a job. And I was shooting as an audience. And just because I'm not using professional grade equipment, just because my camera and lens are budget gear, they are not like super expensive, top-tier, flagship level camera and lens, it doesn't mean that I cannot produce excellent results. I think we need to change the mindset that we need to chase the latest and greatest. We need to use the best of the best to get good results. Anything less is not good enough. I think that mindset is the one that is holding a lot of photographers back from achieving the best self. What makes your photograph good? There's a lot more going on. There's shooting discipline, your technical execution, your proficiency on how to react on capturing the moments, the good composition, understanding of the lighting, maximizing and optimizing what you can get from your camera and lens, whatever that you are using. All these play important roles in ensuring that you get the best possible results. Just because you have the best camera and the best lens, that doesn't guarantee that you'll get the best results. I hope I've successfully proven my point that we should not underestimate what budget lenses can do. This Olympus 40-150 R, while it is a budget lens, you can produce excellent results using this lens. If you found my sharing beneficial, if you've enjoyed looking at my photographs, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal, or you can join as a member on this channel. All the links are in the descriptions below on how you can do any of them. Any support goes a long way, will definitely help me to continue making more content and publish them right here. Until the next one, please go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye.